Diploma in Sports Psychology. The Behavioral Training Institute. Sports psychology is one of the fastest-growing fields within competitive sport. We have only recently begun to realize the importance as well as powerful benefits associated with understanding and mastering the mind. Unquestionably, the mental component of sport is invariably important. The difference between winning and losing often comes down to the mental toughness of the athlete. Our 6-month online course in sports psychology will help you gain expertise in this growing field, and provides you with an opportunity to increase knowledge, allowing you to choose a professional career with excellent employment outlook. Whether you are just starting off, a professional, or an instructor, this course is specifically designed to provide a solid foundation in the fastest-growing field of sports psychology. Gold medals aren't really made of gold. They are made of sweat, determination, and a hard-to-find alloy called guts. Some of the course topics. What is sports psychology? Theories of performance. Origins of sports psychology. Assessment of athletes. Skills of a sports psychologist. Neuropsychology and sport. Motivation theories. Burnout. Excellence in coaching. Arousal and performance. Mental conditioning. Goal setting. Mental rehearsal. The relationship between anxiety and performance. Sports psychology is the study of how psychology influences sports, athletic performance, exercise, and physical activity. Some sports psychologists work with professional athletes and coaches to improve performance and increase motivation. Unlike a psychiatrist, a psychologist does not have a medical degree, and therefore cannot prescribe medication. Common psychological skills of a sport and exercise psychologist. Anxiety or energy management. Attention and concentration control. Focusing. Communication. Goal setting. Imagery and visualization. Self-talk. Team building. Time management and organization. Sports psychology specialties. Clinical sports psychologists have extensive training in psychology. Are trained to help athletes with emotional disorders and issues like substance abuse and eating disorders. Educational sports psychologists have extensive training in sport and exercise science. Educate athletes about psychological skills and their development. The mental coach. Sports psychology involves using techniques and strategies to optimize an athlete's mental preparation leading up to and during competition. Sports psychologists and coaches use these techniques to bring athletes to an optimal level of arousal. They develop confidence and belief in their athletes through goal setting and mental rehearsal. If you really want to do something, you will find a way. If you don't, you will find an excuse. Make sure your worst enemy doesn't live between your own two ears. It doesn't matter how slow you go, as long as you don't stop. Player motivation. Good coaches are able to identify what motivates their athlete. Good coaches are consistent in their methods of motivation. Forms of motivation and reinforcement can be positive or negative. Today it is widely accepted amongst sports psychologists that positive reinforcement is generally more effective in most circumstances with most athletes. Arousal and performance. Arousal can be simply thought of as the amount of readiness or activation a person experiences when faced with a task. Different activities and sports require different levels of arousal. It is best illustrated by the inverted U hypothesis. For optimal performance, arousal must not be too low, yet not too high. Athletes can develop coping skills such as physical relaxation, positive thinking and refocusing to deal with pressure situations. Dealing with stress and anxiety. Too much stress and anxiety can seriously affect an athlete's ability to focus on skills and performance. Stress causes changes in the body's normal functioning when it is put under certain pressures like competing. Too much anxiety is caused by a lack of control over circumstances. Anxiety causes negative thinking, which leads to a lack of confidence and self-belief to compete. Mental conditioning involves self-hypnosis, goal setting, mental rehearsal, attitude development, arousal control, concentration training. Goal setting, a technique to effectively guide achievement of skills and performance objectives. Help in planning and monitoring the development of skills and abilities. Focus attention on relevant activities for progress towards desired results. The benefits of sports psychology for athletes. Improve focus and deal with distractions. Grow confidence in athletes who have doubts. Develop coping skills to deal with setbacks and errors. Concentration and attention, the mental quality to focus on the task at hand. We lose attention when we drift from this. For example, when we think of winning or making that elusive century in cricket. Personal qualities of a sports psychologist. Likeable and perceived as having something very applied and concrete to offer. Flexible and knowledgeable enough to meet individual needs by soliciting athlete input. Accessible enough to establish a rapport with individual athletes and to care about what happens to them. Motivation quotes. Difficulties in life are intended to make us better, not bitter. Failures are finger posts on the road to achievement. Adversity causes some men to break, others to break records. Register now to start the Diploma in Sports Psychology.